Icon 50.
Alright guys, as you can see, I'm so happy. I got my engine back. I'm happy. My dogs are happy. Oh man, you peeing all over my engine. Why are you doing that? Is that good luck? You better hope it's good luck, boy. Yeah, so guys, this is my engine. I got my engine back today. I finally got my engine shipped, and not the engine that I bought from these people that I used to work for, but professionals. And I've been delivering engine for my company for a very long time, and I never seen they ever treat someone transmission like this. I mean, I know this is coming all the way from New Jersey, guys, and they needed it to be proper, and it was more proper than this. I loosened up some of the stuff and cut some of the plastic off, but this thing was well packaged and came to me. So yeah, I'm happy. My dog is happy. Now I can get my car fixed and we can go for rides and stuff again, boy. Right? We can go to the river, huh? Right, buddy? We're gonna go to Wikiwachi. Yeah, we're gonna go up to the river. Daddy's gonna get his car fixed. Right, boy? Yes, sir. I'm so happy, so super excited. So I'm just waiting for my homeboy with his truck to come, and I'm gonna use the lift, the engine lift, and I'm gonna lift this thing up, put it on his truck, and he's gonna get it close to my car for me. Alright guys, as you can see, I got my engine up, thanks to a buddy of mine who helped me, and we ramped it up and got it up here. There's not much parts I got to change off this thing. I think I got a fairly good engine. You know, when they're taking out an engine, there are certain things that they send to you, and they'll send the whole engine assembly. But it depends, because as you can see, the flywheel, I had prepared my old engine. I took off the torque converter off the old engine, and I have to put it back on here. And I think this torque converter, it also comes with it has a little arrow, a little space right here, a little white, so you have to look for here, and you have to line it up back exactly as it is. I don't want to turn it. Because you have to turn it. So let the truth be told, when I put my my 18 millimeter socket on it, it's supposed to turn the flywheel, because I have to turn the flywheel in order to put my torque converter on. So it doesn't come. So it's a good thing I didn't try to damage my torque converter. This baby right here, I took much more care of it. My torque converter right here, I took so much care of this thing. I didn't want any water, anything to get down in it. I'm gonna clean it up. I'm gonna throw some fresh transmission fluid in it. It's the ATF plus 4. That's the only transmission fluid I use in my transmission. It's expensive, but I rather go with the factory recommended brand than just pour some little cheap transmission fluid into my transmission and then I drive it for a couple of weeks and my transmission goes out, because you know, sometimes it costs you a few dollars more and you're like, all transmission are the same, I'll just go with the cheap one. No, they're not. You know, use the factory recommended, or you use the manual recommended ATF. And when I look up my transmission fluid, you might see sound simple, but it's the ATF, not just the ATF, but the ATF plus 4. So I gotta clean up my transmission, my torque converter, put my torque converter back onto my flywheel, and I have to, there's couple other things I have to change. I have to order it already because this one came. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. This one came right here on my power steering pump right here. It has a chip right here. It has a little chip right here, and I don't use I don't want to use this because the belt tensioner is gonna go on this, and sometimes it might go out and it might chip the belt a little bit. So all my pulleys, I'll make sure all my pulleys and everything is intact. Everything is pinning accordingly, and I don't want this. I'm gonna take this off because I have a brand new one, but I'm gonna keep this. So now I'm actually gonna have 3 of these. I'm gonna have the one. I'm gonna have 3 alternators, but I kind of don't like this alternator because it started to rust in here, and whenever time it start to rust in here, it tells you that this alternator is service time, and I have a brand new one that I had on my old engine. I'm going to take off, and couple of parts here I'm going to take off. I'm going to change out all my coils and my spark plugs. Everything is going to be changed out, put brand new. I'm going to spray my engine, clean it up. I have to clean up my head to put my valve body back on and all that. I already ordered the steering wheel pump. Let me get a little bit closer so I can show you guys what I'm talking about. Right here, if you look right here, you can see it has a chip right here, and that's really bad for your belt tensioner. You don't want to have a power steer, even though it's just a power steering pump, but the belt goes from the power steering pump until your alternator, and everything else, your pulley, your main pulley, so you want to make sure all your pulleys and everything, there's no chip, no nothing, and that would cut your belt or damage your belt, because that is very critical. The belt is what keep your engine running after it turns over. My biggest fear is that when I put this back together, is it gonna start up? Once it starts up, any fault code that it has, I can fix it because I have 1,000,001 parts to throw on this baby. I just don't want, I wanted to get another engine that had a blown head gasket or anything like that. If it's misfiring or stuff like that, I cannot figure out why it's misfiring, but a blown head gasket means a done engine. Some people get blown head gasket and they try to build it, and it costs them way more than just getting another engine. And the old engine that I took out of this SUV had 185,000 miles on it, and this one only has 149. The one that I took out is the original engine, that is 2009, I'm sorry, and this one is a 2010, but they're the same thing. They're the same interchangeable part, the same horsepower and everything. So it's just a few things I'm going to change out on here, not much, and it looks like a fairly clean engine. I just got to spray up inside and stuff like that. And there's some screws that got down in here. I guess when they dismantle, or when they was dismantling it, some things got I see. That's why you always gotta inspect your engine. Can I see? There's a screw that's down in here, guys. Let me see if I can get it out. Let me put it down in here and show you what I'm talking about. It's down there. So normally when my finger cannot get down into places like that, I always have my little tools that I use. I always have a little nip pliers that I use, because I don't want it to go down in there and get stuck. And I'm trying to figure out which one of the bolt this is. I think this is the I'm not sure what bolt is it, but it's a long one, very long bolt, guys. And when you're buying an engine and you're gonna change your engine, you inspect your engine, see if there's any bolt that's falling down, any screws, any nuts and all them stuff. You know, because you know that's not the dismantler job to thoroughly check your engine to see what falls in and what does not falls in. And this look like right here, yep, that's for my my engine mount. That's the bolt for my engine mount right there. So at least they took two out. It's supposed to come with three, but they took two out, and I guess the one that fell in there, they couldn't get it out and they just leave it. So now, you know, I have an extra bolt, and that is good. That is good, guys. That is good. So yeah, you know, I'm taking you guys along the journey, and you know, a few things I gotta change out, and let me show you another one that I'm gonna change out. A couple more parts that I'm gonna change out, guys. This right here, I'm gonna change this out also. It's kind of a little bit rusty up here, and mine's is actually, this looks good, but it's rusty inside here, and mine's, the one that I put on, is a brand new one. This look fairly fine, so I'm not gonna do much with this. I'm not gonna do much with this. I'm just gonna double D up my double D up and spray up all my my screws and stuff like that, and make sure everything is working and intact. And I gotta check and make sure everything is good, because I don't want to put this engine back together, and then when I put it back together, then it won't start, and then I have to take it back apart again. So, you know, and I'm going to show you guys what I use. I don't like using the industrial things on my engine, because sometimes they're very strong. So this is it's a mildew remover. It's very good. It doesn't, it just cut the grease and stuff like that. So, you know, I spray these little parts so I could cut the grease off it and stuff like that. And as you can see back here, you got to be careful not to let anything get down in here, because this is where you're gonna put your catalytic converter, one on the back and one in the front. So, you know, I want to clean up this whole area, but before I clean up this whole area, it has 3 holes, and I'm going to stuff all 3 holes to make sure there's nothing that's getting down in here before I start cleaning it up. And I have to clean up my my oil pan and stuff like that. This is a big oil pan, guys. This oil pan actually takes up the whole bottom of the engine. You know, that's what I'm telling you guys. This is a big engine, and a very heavy one at that. Very big and heavy. So what I do, guys, you know, when I'm spraying up my engine, normally I put my catalytic converter back on here before I cleaned up, but I'm not gonna have enough space to do that. So what I do is I stuff these little holes right here, stuff them very good to make sure nothing gets down in it. Like I said, guys, we live in a sandy area, and you know, sands and all them stuff gets into it. So, you know, when you do like that, you can always go around and clean your engine up, spray your engine and clean it up, and rest assured that there's nothing going down inside of your engine. And why I'm cleaning up the back of this first is because this is the hardest part to get to, because once you put the catalytic converter back on, it's going to be hard to get to this area, because this is what's going to go inside, go in first, and it's limited space that you can get to. So I like to clean up these little area first, and make sure that it's all clean and good before I put it back together. And I'm gonna show you how I do this thing. I have my engine lift that I'm gonna use to lift it. Some people call it engine lift, some call it cherry picker. But whatever your favorite word is or your favorite name to call it, that's on you. That's on you guys. And then I'll come and I'll get something and I'll just, you know, because that's not gonna self-clean it. It's just to cut the grimes and the grease. And you know, I mean, it's not gonna be 100%, and I don't want it to be 100% because after I put this baby in a couple weeks or a couple months, it's gonna get dirty because we live in a sandy area. But you know, that's just me. I'm a practical guy, and I just like to clean my things up, you know, and get them ready. You know, these little areas and stuff like that. I like to clean them up and have them ready, you know, because all these little areas right here, I want to sand it down. I'm going to use sandpaper. I'm going to use a number 3 or a number 4 sandpaper to sand this down and smooth it down before I put my catalytic converter on. And you just don't slap the catalytic converter on. You have to put the gasket, so you want to make sure the gasket sit very well onto your engine. And I'm so happy today because I got my engine, and I didn't get my engine from the original the company that I bought it from. I got this one from all the way from New Jersey, and it took less than a week to get to me. So these people that's holding on to my money, if they don't want to give me my money back, I'm going to take them to court. And I don't want them to give me, I just want them to give me my money back. And I was just trying to avoid going to court and all that, because now it's going to cost me, you know, get a lawyer to go to court and all that. It's going to cost me way more than the $400, but it's just the discipline, man. It's just the discipline, you know. It's just the discipline and the way you treat people. You can't treat people like this. You can't take people money. You already have your money, and then you want to rob me mines. So my money means nothing to me, but it means everything to you, because you'll take my money, and because you have your money, you tell yourself, I dare you to take me to court, because I'm not going to give you your money back. And this is what's going on in America and across the world, and this is why I have my YouTube channel, to speak out on things like these that's happening to people here in America and all around the world, that you can't treat people like this, because this is how people become homeless. This is how people become drug addict. This is how people start to rob and steal, because you cheat them out of the little that they have, and they have no other option than to turn to a life of crime and all of that stuff. And you know, crime is my last resort, because I don't like crime. You know, I don't like crime, man. So what I'm gonna do, guys, I'm gonna spray this up. And when I spray it up, I'm gonna leave it and let it soak for a little bit, and then I'm gonna come back with my wire brush. I'm gonna show you my wire brush. I can do it manually, or I can put my wire brush onto my my drill and do that. But I like to do this so I can, you know, take the time to go around and do my things. And this is what I'm telling you about, guys. This wire brush right here comes in handy, because now you can clean these areas, guys. You can clean these areas and get it ready. And you know, my wire brush is doing this. I don't even think I need the sandpaper to sand it down. You know, but I just like to clean my areas and clean them thoroughly before I put my gasket and all them stuff on, and make sure it's smooth, nice and smooth, and it doesn't have any gap, because once it has that little gap, you know, this is your combustion chamber and your emission and all that stuff, and once, you know, smoke and all that stuff start to escape through this little area, you know, it becomes a problem, because now you're gonna start having misfires and all that stuff. And like I said, I have the drill that I can put with the little tips down in these little areas and get them clean. And I'm gonna do that because I have all the time in the world, guys, because if I spend 3 months waiting on my engine, I think I can wait a couple more days to have this engine right, guys. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna clean up my engine, and I'm gonna do it the right and proper way. So I'm gonna spray this, and this thing, it like I said, guys, this thing it's not a rust cutter, it's a grease cutter. You spray it and you leave it for a little while, and it will cut all the grease, and you can go back and you can use a wire brush or a manual wire brush, or you can use a drill bit, or whichever you feel is more helpful for you, and that will help you to clean up your engine blocks, guys. Like I said, I want to clean up my engine blocks, and I want my engine blocks to be clean and everything. Like I said, I don't mind spending 2 more days or 3 more days and get it. And I'm so happy that he sent me the engine with the pulley, because my old pulley that came off, I should have took this off before I attempt to take the engine out. I took the engine out with this on it, and it kind of, you know, make a little damage here on my pulley and stuff. I have more pulley, brand new pulleys, that I can take this one off and put on, but he sent me one and it's nice and everything, so I don't need to buy one of these, and I don't need to change this. So I actually can keep the new one, or take the new one off and keep the old one as a spare. Like I said, guys, whenever time you're taking parts off, just don't throw away your parts. Always keep your parts, because you know they will come in handy. I might not need this, but I might need this. I might not need this, but I might need this. And I might not need this, but I need a screw, you know, a bolt or something. So, you know, always keep your things, always keep them, guys. And the reason why I'm focusing on the back of this is because this is where I'm gonna put my my catalytic converter. Here, this is where my catalytic converter is gonna go, guys. And here is where my catalytic converter is gonna go. And if I put my engine in, I'm gonna have to go all the way to the back of here to put this on. So I like to put this on before I put my engine in, you know what I'm saying? And then when I put everything that needs to be put on the back, then I start working on the front and the side. So this is what I'm going to put on here, and I'm going to put my torque converter back on before I even attempt to do anything else. But like I said, I have all the time in the world, guys. I'm in no hurry to do this thing. So, you know, it is what it is. Alright, guys, I think it should be soak enough. No, I'm not gonna get it 100% clean, but at least I'll get it cleaned up some way. I just use this with a small bit. You can get into them little corners and stuff. I think my battery died on me, guys, and I gotta go change my battery. Yep. Come on, baby. There you go. I had to go change my battery, guys. Really? Showing that I got 2 strikes. What's going on? Man, I had these things sitting so long in the sun, in the rain. It's amazing how it still works. Yeah, I'm showing 2 bars on here, so you should get some spin. I got like 3 more of these, and I don't even know where I put them, man. Yeah, they just need to charge somewhere, because I had these things sitting so long in the sun, man. It's amazing how the sun and the rain, it's just amazing how they still work. I still got 2 bars on here. See, I still got 2 bars. I don't know why. I hope my Craftman didn't go out on me. I'm just hoping my Craftman didn't go out on me, guys. See? Craftman. It's not a powerful tool, but it's a handy tool. You know, it gets you into spots and places. But I had the next one on charge, and I have like 3 more of these. I just gotta go search my toolbox to find them and if they're charged, because I don't really like to keep my batteries on charge. Once they charge, I like to take them off. Alright, guys, I knew I had them somewhere. At least I found one. It has 3 bars on it. Got 3 bars on this one, so I'm hoping it's just the battery. No, and not my arm. Okay, guys. When I'm working, I like to keep the batteries on charge, but like I said, I had these in the sun, in the rain and the sun so long, guys, that I don't even know if they're gonna charge, if it's gonna work, because right now it's blinking and it's not supposed to be blinking. But I'm gonna watch it for a little bit, because I just plugged it in. As you can see, it's blinking right now. See, it's blinking green. It's not supposed to blink like that. It's supposed to flicker more than how it's flickering now. But I'm just gonna watch it, because it's been sitting in my toolbox, and I left my toolbox. I went out for a couple of days, I wasn't home, and I left my toolbox open, not deliberately, but I was in a hurry that day. I left my toolbox open, and the rain came and wet these things up, and I had to take them out. I see it now, it's got the it has the steady, and that's how I like to see it. It shows over here that it's charging on the 20 volt. This body doesn't need much charging, so I don't know why my power tool just stopped working just now. I hope it's not because I knocked the battery in too hard. So it did work. It does work. So it's the battery, guys. And that's why I like Craftsman, because they don't overwork themselves, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take you guys a little bit closer in so you guys can have an idea back here what I'm doing back here, because I'm showing you guys from the side and maybe you guys are not seeing what I'm trying to do. What I'm trying to do is clean up this area right here and this area right here. So what I do, I remember I told you guys earlier on that there's 3 holes back here that I put my catalytic converter on, but I want to clean up this area right here, you know, get a little bit of the grump and grease and stuff like on it. And while you're doing that, guys, you know, this is chemical, and I always advise people to wear gloves while they're working with chemical, even if it says on the bottle that is harmless. I still like to wear gloves, but not doing this with my hand right now. I'm using the power tool. These bits are very good, guys. These bits are very good. Actually, because what I did, I modified this because my actual drill that's supposed to be doing this is way more powerful than this. But my drill, for somehow, like I said, I left my tools out in the rain and all that, and I guess maybe that's it went down into the hole or something. The water went down and that's not working right. I have to modify this. This is actually not the one that's supposed to go in here, but I have a bit. I break it down from a 3/4 to a 1/4, and then I use a little bit piece of plastic. I learned this trick a long time ago from a redneck friend of mine in Indiana. But what he actually did, he did it permanently. He got a whole bunch of these little bits, and what he did, he used JB Weld, and JB Weld them sealed. So he had like a whole different bits. And I asked him one day, I said, okay, when the bits rub down, when these rub down, how do you change it? He said you just throw them away and buy new ones, because you don't use them all the time. It's just, you know, once in a while purpose that he used them. So, you know, he use it one time and it lasts him 5, 6, 7 years, depends on how often he use it. And he doesn't use them really often, but he just have them spaced out, and he used the JB Weld to weld them in so that they don't move. As you can see, I don't put too much pressure on this, because if I put too much pressure on this, it's not gonna spin the way I want it to spin. This is the area I was telling you about, guys, that you want to make sure this area right here is all nice and clean. I know I'm going to use the brush to brush it down, but after that I'm still going to use the sandpaper on it to smooth it off and stuff like that. So see no water gets into my engine and stuff like that. And I'm just going to do one last spray. I was going to take it off, but I'm going to do one last spray. And once I do this one last spray, let this run down and run out. and I can go ahead and remove the cloth and see how it looks. Like I said, I'm not trying to get this thing back to in a brand new state. I'm just trying to get the grease and grimes and stuff like that that's on it off it. That's the main reason why I'm really spraying this thing down. There's certain things that your power tool can do, guys, and there's certain things that just gotta go the manual way. Like here, I want to put more pressure on these little areas right here. I gotta go manually and use that. Like these little areas, it's just that the wire brush can't get in between certain areas, so I only use the power tool to get them in a certain areas, guys. And like I said, I'm not trying to get this thing shine all the way back to factory. I'm just trying to make it look a little bit decent in a sense. You know, I like to have a clean engine. It did a little bit of damage here, but it's not a big deal. It's no big deal, guys. No big deal whatsoever. Just a little bit of chafe right here. That's no big deal as long as there's not a hole in it. I'm okay with that. And this is the area where I'm telling you about, guys. You want to make sure this area is all cleaned, properly clean, and that's why wire brush, guys. Wire brush, I mean, the wire brush gets the hard work done, and then you can use the sandpaper to smooth it down. But the wire brush is what really gets to the areas that you want to get to and get them clean, nice and clean, guys. You see what I'm talking about? When you rest this thing here on it, this is what's gonna go. This is your gasket that's gonna go here, guys. So when you put your gasket on it, you want to make sure it sits down, it sits on it. As you're not worrying about this part right here, you're worrying about this part underneath. You want to make sure it sits on it and sits perfect, and there's no little gap in between, these little areas right here. You see what I'm saying? And even this gasket, I'm going to clean down this gasket, rub it down, smooth it down and stuff like that, because all of these was all brand new stuff that I bought with my catalytic converter, and kind of feel a little bit like I'm getting somewhere. Just need to rub it down a little bit more, and then I'll put the sandpaper on it and smooth it down, because the wire brush only can do certain job. It's not gonna do all the job, but it can do certain job. Like it can get you down to where you need to go, because you don't want to use a rough sandpaper to start roughing the area up. You want to use a number 3 or number 2 that's gonna, you know, very thin, but not just to rub it down, but just to smooth the area. You know, some people, I see some people use scraping knife and all that stuff. You know, like I said, guys, whatever works for you. But I just don't like putting knives and all them stuff, because once you make a little mark, just a little mark, you know, you're making way for things to happen. That's why they recommend the wire brush, guys. And you know, these little things, I got the whole package, the wire brush itself and the wire brush tips and all that that works with the drill. I got those things at Harbor Freight for like $18 for the whole thing. I got like 6 bits in it, in the pocket with this. And let me go see if I find the pocket to show you guys. This is the pocket that it came. This is the pocket, and this is all the bits and stuff. And I bought these things years ago and throw them into my my toolkit, and never really need them. never really need them, guys, because you know how they're making things now. They're making these things now that you can just, you know, they have a solution right now that you put all your stuff together and make sure nothing goes down, and you can take this and put it all the way in the solution and leave it there for 48 hours, and when you come back, this thing is all brand new. So you know, and it's the industrial one. You know, it costs a little bit of money, but it gets the work done. Yes, sir. Gets the work done, guys. And this is not, I haven't even started yet. I'm just smoothing this down, this area here. You know, like I said, I have all the time in the world to put this engine back together. I'm not gonna do it in a hurry. I'm gonna do it step by step, the way I know it's supposed to. And when I go into my car and I turn my key and I say start, this baby starts right up. And like I said, if I have check engine lights and stuff, I can live with that, because if it's check engine light that has to do with anything exterior, I could always change those parts, because I have a million and one parts that I'm getting off the old engine and from other parts that I had before that I'm gonna be using. So I'm gonna spray this down real good one more time. But before I do that, guys, I always make sure I redo my holes so nothing goes down in it. Normally I just run a piece of tape across it, long tape, which is the best thing, because even though the cloth help, but the cloth sometimes soak up water and it will get down in it. And like I said, this is not regular water, this is chemical, guys, and I'm supposed to be wearing the gloves doing this, but like I said, I'm not really, you know, using my hand to do it, even though my hand is catching it, and the bottle says it's not dangerous to your health or your skin. It's an industrial chemical, and it doesn't bring back the engine brand new as in shine, but it cuts the grimes and grease off your engine, because there are certain parts of your engine block that gets hot, and if it has grease or oil, it's gonna smoke, and you're gonna be thinking that you have another blown head gasket when it's just too much oil, and that's on your engine. Alright, guys, and that's dried good enough. I'm not gonna put too much sandpaper on it, but I just want to show you when it dries what it looks like, and little things that escape your eyes if you're not properly looking. Clean this thing off area good, and you can see the little whales. That's why the sandpaper comes in handy. I have to use the sandpaper because I don't really care about the outer part of it. I'm just talking about this little part right here. Even though I use the brush, I still need to do the sandpaper. And this that's what I was telling you about. This is a M3. You want to use a M3 or a M4 or even a M2. So right here it says M3, and here it says M3. That's what I was telling you about. You don't want to use a 6 or a 8 because then it's gonna be too hard and it's gonna start cutting the surface. Like I said, you're not grinding it down, you're just smoothing it down. And that's the difference between grinding. Because if I was grinding this, I wouldn't be wasting all my time on this. I'll use my grinder and grind it down. If I'm not grinding it down, I'm just smoothing it down. You can see when I put my gasket on, my gasket sits perfectly flush on top of it. And like I said, it's almost a fairly new engine because this engine only has 149,000 miles on it. So it hasn't been through much bumps and grinds yet. But you know, this is Florida, baby. It's gonna get there, trust me. Even though this is a New Jersey engine. And why I like the engine from New York and New Jersey is because these engines don't these engines don't work as much as the engines in the country area does, because to get from point A to point B in the countries, you have to take the highways. You know what I'm saying? You have to take the highways in order to do that. And when you get an engine from like New Jersey, New York, and you know those places where people just drive maybe a mile, 2 miles to work. Some people don't even drive to work. They park their car on one side of the street, because I knew what I used to do it. I used to park my car, I used to drive my car to a certain area where I know it's not gonna get towed for the day, and then I would park my car and I'll take the bus or take the train, and then I'll come back in and I'll pick my car up. And there is certain places in New York that used to be cheap back in the days. If you don't want to leave your car outside, you take it. It's not really like you have the high paid garage areas where you can park for the day, for the week, per hour. And then you have other people, like, you know, residential private people who had lands and property that you know, if they could take maybe 10, 15, 20 car parking space for the day, and then they don't charge you that much. Just charge you a little something just for you to keep your car there. And these people were so reasonable that you could just leave your car there for the whole week, and it costs you less than what the city charges you for the day. So I never used to leave my car outside, because I never know, I might come back and see my car and the 4 rims. And sometimes they even take the rims off. They take the tires off and they take the rims off as well. And you come back and it's on 4 block with just your calipers and your rotors left there, and 4 blocks. Sometimes they don't even put it on any blocks, but they use the blocks, because if they don't use the blocks, they can't get the tire or the rims off. And that's mainly, you know, people stealing your car in New York. That's mainly things they steal off your car. They don't really steal the whole car. Some people does, but you know, tires and rims is what most of the people go for. You know, because I've been a victim of people taking off my tires and off my car and my rims right underneath my nose. I'm upstairs sleeping. I used to live in a 10 story floor building, and I was on like the 3rd floor or the 2nd floor, so not too far from outside. And I'll be going to my bed and they'll steal my tires right underneath my nose. They'll steal my stereo and GPS and all them stuff. You know, when they break my glass, it costs me more to fix it than it costs me, you know, to get a new one. But that's the way it is in New York. So now, guys, I show you how to get your things done and prepare, because you don't want to get an engine, guys. You don't want to get an engine. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to get an engine, and then when you get the engine, it's all nasty and dirty and full of grease and grimes and stuff like that, and you just slap things on. You slap things on, and when you slap things on, you start the car up, and within 10-15 minutes of idling, you see smoke coming out of the back because you didn't prep your engine the proper way. You gotta prep your engine, guys. You gotta prep your engine if you're gonna do. See, all these things are from the salt. Let me show you something, guys, what I'm talking about, and this is no joke. This is no joke, guys. You see that little white spot right here? This is actually decay, and if you leave that right there like that, it's gonna start decaying, because this is aluminum. So what happened is it started decaying already, and that's from the salt and the snow from, you know, those places. So what I'll do, I like to just spray it out and clean it out, and clean out these little stuff over here, you know. So when I put my engine back together, at least these things are gone and not there to decay, because it will sit there and it's not going to decay overnight. It's not going to decay overnight, guys, but it'll take its time, and it'll eat itself away inside here. So all these little things, I'm going to have to take care of these before I put my engine back together. But you know, that's why I tell you, I like to inspect my engine when I get my engine. I like to inspect. I like to see if there's any places that's broken, there's any dent, there's any chip and stuff like that, because you know, some dismantler, when they dismantling your engine, they dismantle your engine like you're just gonna buy it and keep it at your shop or keep it at your house, and you're not gonna use it. You're just gonna look at it as a collectible souvenir. You know what I'm saying? They're not checking that, okay, you're buying an engine to put into your vehicle, so you know your vehicle could drive. So they dismantle it however they feel like, and it comes with broken parts. Like I said, you know, guys, you know, there's certain common things, like, you know, if a hose is broken, or you know, stuff like this is broken, you know, little things like these, or rather the bigger parts break, because it's easier to get than just this little part right here that's breaking off this plastic part, because then no, you can't get this. You're gonna have to buy this whole thing just to get this little piece. So these little things, you gotta take good care of them. These little plastic connectors, you gotta take very good care of them and make sure they're not broken and stuff like that. That when you put your hose on it, there's no air and stuff like that. You know, these are little things I pay attention to. You know what I'm saying? And I check my engine to see if there's any screws fall in, or any plastic or any dirt or anything that fall into my engine. You know what I'm saying? I check these little parts, even though it came plastic up and everything, but you never know when the dismantler is taking it off, things can happen, and he didn't say anything. So yeah, guys, so I'm gonna, now that I finished prep my area, I'm gonna put my catalytic converter back on. But before I put my catalytic converter back on, I'm gonna take my wire brush and clean it up a little bit.